thanks a lot for joining us. One talk in English?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, because my German is not really good, so I'll speak in English. My name is Boguslaw. I came to you today from Wrocław, Poland, and I work for InTENSO. Actually, I'm head of Atlassian Experts with services and add-ons, mainly for Jira. And we focus on service desk area in Jira actually, but also one of the products which I just want to talk about today to you is TestFLO, and it's focused on testing, but not only. I will talk about this in the middle, and I have two actually messages for you, very new because no one else is knowing that, so two new things which you hear. My first question, anybody here heard about TestFLO before? Oh, that's great. That's fine. That's fine. That's good. Anybody used? No one. That's very good. That's very good because it means that's very good that I'm here. So TestFLO, it's a Jira add-on, strict working on Jira, which provides all the elements. I mean, all the components which allow you to develop the process of management in Jira. This is just a screenshot from the marketplace. So it is focusing on designing. I will explain that in a detail this moment. Designing the test process from planning, designing, execution, and reporting. And I will describe all the family which we're creating. This is what we did last time and which we are working on, and why it's important that I'm here, and why I'm asking you that to just try and involve in doing this, what you're doing. I mean, we are creating a new add-on and all the idea of family which I described in the moment. So, in the difference, because I assume that most of you know Zephyr, right? The Zephyr is the top-selling add-on for test management, and this is what I do. That we created that add-on is that 4 years ago, one of the customers we had, ING Bank, actually was doing the research and didn't find the add-on which was fulfilling the requirements for them. This was top selling, but the idea of testing here is that you have all out of the box and actually you are not able to do the changes. I mean, if you want to configure the process that switch this process which you have, but not using out of the box, if you want to change something, it's not easy with Zephyr. So we decided to design and product an add-on for them, which will allow them to very, let's say, flexibly configure the process of testing, and they assume that they knew that they want to continuously improve in this process. So this was the assumption that we do that, and this is what this add-on comes from. So from scratch, you can have one configuration out of the box. It's very simple, just putting two on buttons. But this add-on was designed that you can configure the test as you want. I mean, you can have, for example, every context in one Jira project, because this is what I didn't mention, that everything which we provide is a Jira issue. Test case is a Jira issue, test plan is Jira issue, and it can be connected with requirements, with defects, with stories, and any other issues which are in Jira. Actually, probably if you're working on Jira, the most common are bugs, of course, if it's connected with soft development. But actually, not only with this, but for business or development or other areas, you can have other issues. So this add-on is designed the way that it can configure just one project for testing. It can configure everything in one place, or any idea which you want to have. For example, we have customers that can configure that the one project is just for the repository of these cases, because idea here is that the first thing which you have to do, put some effort on the beginning. It's sometimes a big, sometimes not so big amount of time, just to prepare the repository of test cases. And when you create the test cases, it takes you a few minutes to create the test cases, even with 15 or more test cases, because you're just picking up the test cases from repository and creating an instance of test case. It's a test run actually, so it is the way which is working. And right now I have prepared for you, this is just a premiere, no one else see that, the movie promoting this add-on.
So, you've been using Jira and it helped you grow your business. And probably you've implemented quite a few processes and workflows in Jira to have them all in one place and under control. And how about testing and Q&A? We proudly introduced TestFLO for Jira, with dozens of features you're gonna like. TestFLO supports flexible configurations for teams and projects. It's smoothly integrated with defects and requirements, providing broad traceability metrics. It has CI integration for automated tests, allowing you to publish test results to Jira in real time. Extensive reporting capabilities, including all Jira metrics and statistics. Covers requirements, changes, stories, or any other issues with tests. Leverage of over 10 built-in Jira reports and 20 dashboard gadgets. Seamless integration with Jira add-ons and external tools. Customize provided workflows and settings, or design your own test management process. But that's not all. It gives you features no other add-on will give you. Reusable repository of test cases. Test plan creation and copying, extremely customizable set of Jira modules, enhanced issue picker, panel filter results, test link migration wizard. And you can try it for free to experience all it gives you.
Yes. So that was this video, first time. That was nice. So we have a plugin which is a core one. It provides you a process. I mean, actually, we try to figure out and produce, like actually deliver a add-on which actually, okay, this has a process. You can, out of the box, you have pre-configured the set of Jira components. But our idea was to provide an add-on which has a set of components, custom fields, conditions, post functions, and other elements, which we treat like a set of Lego. You can use it and configure it in another way. I will talk about that in a moment. The other add-on which is connected with that, because we decided to do another one, not included in this one, because not everyone needs automation right now, or is using this another way. This add-on is doing the simple way. I mean, if you have a Bamboo or Jenkins, configure the automated tests which produce JUnit format, XML. You can configure Jira and Bamboo or Jenkins. Then you have an issue on Jira, you have a transition, and on this transition you can have a screen, and you can see the plans from Bamboo or jobs from Jenkins. Choose one of them and run on Jenkins or Bamboo, which is connected with this Jira. And when the job is done, I mean when the tests are run, the issues will be created under as a subtask under this issue from which you started the run of this tests. So this is the automation which you just provided in this one. Some things about reports. Some time ago we had reports included in that add-on, but we have a lot of feedback from customers that they want, almost a half customers wanted to have their own reports for their own purposes. So we decided to do the next add-on. It's a free open source that the customer can do and develop their own add-ons just to providing the reports they want, whatever they want to do. test link migration. This was a very common case that a lot of people has customers, people has a test link and they want to migrate data from test link automatically. So just export the test cases from test link to the XML, import that way, very simple. It was just on the movie. The second, it was by accident. I didn't prepare that especially because in that lesson, when you want to start a new plugin on the marketplace, you send it to the approval. And 5 hours ago, they have approved it and it appears on the marketplace TestFLO Cloud, so it's available for cloud. That's very good news for me. But sometimes customers are asking us, all right, corporates, customers which have big Jira inside, and what they will use for TestFLO Cloud for. So very common case which we encountered is that sometimes it happens that business doesn't have an access to Jira because it's IT, Jira, and they probably would like to test something. I mean, it's business has to test or do the UAT testing, and IT would like business to do that. And some customers find it very good way that for the period of time during the project, which is going to be tested, they take the cloud for the business people. If it's 10 people, so it's $10 per month. For example, for 2 months, taking this add-on, doing the test, and give up the cloud. So just for $50 perhaps they have using testing, and cloud doesn't have to pay. It's turned off. So this is something that's one of the cases most common. And this is what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. I mean, this is what we are working for, and this is my question to you. Just to try, and if you engage, these are areas which are working right now on. So requirements management, UX improvement, simplifying configuration. That's more technical, but also automation, metrics, and ESTQB standardization. So if you are similar with tests, ESTQB is just the only one standard actually, which we are going to be similar with. So, but it's not only about testing, because I say that before, we try to provide a solution which is not only just providing the testing process, but also components which can you use in other areas. One of these is steps. Steps is just a custom field which you can use in other contexts. It depends on you. You can flexibly define in administration. When you go to administration, go to the custom field, you can define the custom field, define the columns, create a new custom field, create columns, and use this in any other context which you would like. And the next part, which is coming with this add-on, is enhanced issue picker. Jira has one problem with linking. You can not link, this is the first option, or you can link everything with everything. This is the second option. Because very often our customers are always asking that they want to restrict linking, and they want to have predefined only options which they want to link, for example, requirement only with changes or defects only with test cases, and because they assume that they have to be test case if you create defect, or if you create a bug, let's say from production, you of course you don't have a test case. That's examples. That's also the fields which you provide that only restrict the connection and which create a relation which can be used to displaying the particular information. And the third element which you provide is just universal. You also use it in other processes and other contexts. As you can see, the coverage and test cases, these both are panels on issue. And if you connect that with the previous one, enhanced issue picker, which can connect, for example, one issue with many issues, we are able also to flexibly, dynamically in Jira, decide that we want to have a new panel, for example, coverage, and define this panel for particular issue types and particular projects. And this panel, define JQuery, and all the issues which will be connected, searched by this JQuery will appear on this filter on this issue. So this is what I like to invite you is just to try if it suits you, because I am aware of that not everything is for everything. There are sometimes cases that we say, okay, that for this particular process in the customer, this is not for you, but anyway, I encourage you to just to try, and if you like it, call to us, send an email by service desk or whatever. We are right now very likely to do custom requests. So this is my idea. I came to you. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I will be very glad to answer.
So, other questions? Yeah.
You probably know that there are some other test management
Yes, of
plugins
course.
on the marketplace. One of them is Zephyr.
Yes.
What is the conceptual difference compared to Zephyr?
All right. In Zephyr, if you have a test cycle and test cases, there's these instances, entities are not issues. Everything which we have is a Jira issue. So you can connect, you can include the process and connect with other issues. This is the first difference. The other one is that we have also connected with automation and open. For example, if you want to have a good reporting, or for example, Zephyr also have a Zapi. It's you have to buy additionally API. Programmatic API to do to get the data. We have it included on the board. So, the most difference is that everything in Zephyr, it's not connected with issues. It's just the next to Jira. It's okay. It's in the Jira database. It's strictly in Jira, but entities. We are working on issues, and we are taking everything from Jira, which we can. So, if you assume that test plan, test case, and test run are issues, every reports, gadgets which are in Jira, you can use. That's it.
Additional questions?
Yes.
Me? Okay.
Yes.
Hi, sorry. Which testing artifacts do you support with your, let's say, test plan, test case, just to get a grasp of it all?
Yes. So this which we provide actually are four. This which we call test case template. In context of ESTQB right now, we can call it test case, test plan, which when you create, you're picking up the test cases, and the instances of this are called test runs, so they are free. And requirements, we create one issue type, but we didn't name it because you can decide that requirements will be this what we provided requirement, but also story and something else. So this four are this which we provide, but it's up to you if you want. If Jira admin can add anything, and you can express that.
But they are all basic Jira issue types.
Yes, that's right.
The derivatives of it.
So, yes.
How do you manage pre and post requisites for test cases?
Pre
and post requisites.
Okay. Right now we use just the fields which are here, just describing the yes.
Okay.
We provide the fields which describe, you just have to fill and describe them.
And how do you manage acceptance criteria?
Acceptance criteria. In steps, you have, expected results or acceptance criteria for all the test cases.
So, question is, do you mention there's like a subtask issue type?
Yes. This is a
like
test
a
case.
subtask issue type. So I can add acceptance criteria as subtask issue types on every story?
This is also a field. Additional
It's
field.
also field?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
So no subtask issue type, it's just a field?
So, yes, we assume that if everything is losing for customer, then always you can add additional field. Because actually the prerequisitions and acceptance criteria are provided by us, but every field, every statistic actually, for example, if you need, you can create a new field because it's an issue. You can add any statistic for that.
And you say you have full traceability up the ladder up to where I like to go?
I'll give you an example. The most complex configuration which we have is project divided to application changes. These changes are divided to requirements, and for these requirements are created test plans, and under these test plans are test cases, and these test cases are defects. And customer wanted to have everything on the project issue, including the defects. So there are 6 panels showing the statistics for every level of interest. So on the project, he's seeing that there's a panel. For example, project was 500 man days, and number of defect was 400. Of course, if you go bigger, there's more issues on the panel, but they see on the one issue everything. Yes.
So you can have a full coverage, or a dashboard with a view of full coverage from the beginning, from the requirement, or
Yes.
maybe
You can
higher than that,
configure.
like
Yes, you can
themes,
configure.
stuff like that.
That's
And,
right. Because we don't provide the other, let's say, processes. We focus on starting on test case, test plan, test case, test plan, test run, and defect. But you can configure all the rest.
Okay.
But actually, each customer has different adoption of Jira, so it's up to him how to do that. We provide all the documentation and support for him, but it's up to the customer, because some of the customers have one Jira project for projects. Some customers are joining all separate projects for initiatives, so it depends actually on the customer configuration in Jira.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Okay. Another question.
When you have a test case and you make a test run to do this,
Yeah.
and then with the next version you have to adapt, to change your test case and make for the next version another run. How do you archive which particular kind of test case is matching with which version?
Okay, so right now it's working that way. If I create a test case from test run from test case, it's a next instance. So everything is copied. And we have a functionality. If you go to test case and make a change, because going back on the test case, there's also a version. So if you make a change, the version will change, and there's an option. You can do an update on the test runs which are not run yet, but it's up to you. This person who is changing the test case has limited ability to update, because she or he cannot run the test cases which are test runs which are actually in process right now. It's not all, but he or she can choose these runs which you want to, which you want to change. So, and the version of test case is incremented. The test run is always the same.
If you have a test and I got lost. Sorry.
No question. No problem.
More specific questions, I think you
I will be here. No problem. Yes.
Exactly. And I would then ask, jetzt kann ich wieder auf Deutsch reden, ist das okay? Ja.
Wir sind auch in Berlin seit Anfang des Jahres, und es gibt so ein kleines Katalog da hinten, wo die ganzen Add-ons vorgestellt sind.
Sehr gut, danke.
Also ihr könnt
Ja.
mich in Berlin anschreiben und in der Landessprache.
Ja, dann nochmal ganz herzlichen Dank.
Thank you very
Thank you very much.